Hi there, welcome to Email Logistics. In today's video, I'm going to be walking you through module number 2 of your Email Logistics Mail Flow Rules course. This module I'm going to be covering how to create an assignment rule and assign the right message to the right people using the Email Logistics Rules engine. In the Email Logistics Admin Center, go ahead and navigate to the mailbox you want to make the change to and hit on the Rules tab. In here, you're going to be able to add a rule. Once you click Add Rule, you're going to have to give it a name. It's very important that when you're naming a rule, you give it a naming convention that will allow you to identify what that rule does just by looking at the name. This makes it easy when you need to navigate through multiple rules that are in the list. This rule I'm going to call Assign West Clients to Rick's Team. If you make a spelling mistake like me, spell check is always great. We're going to add a condition to this rule. It's very important to note that every rule requires at least one condition and one action for it to work. This condition I'm going to add is going to be based off of our from address, but you have the option to base it off the to address, so which mailbox the message was sent to, if there was anybody in the CC, if there was content in the subject, or if there was content in the body. Was there an attachment present? Was it sent between a certain date or received between a certain date? Or was it sent during our open hours, our closed hours compared to our mailbox schedule? Is the conversation new, or is it an ongoing conversation? Or was it sent with a level of importance? High, medium, low. This case, I want to base it off the from address. This is the most commonly used condition that I see day to day when I'm training our clients. So in the from address, I can look for an exact match, which means I'm looking for a full email address like rick@panilli.com is not equal to, meaning is not equal to an exact email address, rick@panilli.com. Does it start with something? So does it start with Rick? Does it end with .com, .co, .uk, maybe different regional emails? Or does it contain something? Contains is the most popular one to use because you can do @emaillogistics.com, @panilli.com, etc., etc. We also have an option for matches regular expression. This option can be used if you're looking for maybe something particular in a subject line or a body of an email, a set of numbers that end in a particular number, so 009, 008, things like that. We can get into matches regular expression later on in our course. You can always reach out to support at emaillogistics.com if you have any questions on matches regular expression. This example, I'm going to use contains because I'm going to build this off domain name. So you can start to enter in your domain names right in this field here. For example, I'm going to do @panilli.com. Now that I have all my domains in here, @emaillogistics.com, @river.com, @cornell.edu, so on and so forth, I can go ahead and add an action. You can add other conditions to rules, so you can have multiple conditions per rule. For example, if I wanted to trigger something that was also based off the subject, if it was going to route to the same team, I can click Add Condition. Instead of using an AND option, I can match any and use OR, hit the drop down, and I can do subject contains equals matches regular expression, and put anything in there, meaning that I can just group all these conditions together if they're going to all go to the same team, avoiding having to create multiple rules to assign to the same group of people. In this case, I'm going to stick with the from address here, and we're going to go to actions. Once I click on actions, I'm going to click add action, hit the drop down, and I can click assign. We want to assign to Rick's team. Now, you do have the option to assign to an individual. So if it's just going to be one person, you would hit the drop down and click on that individual person. It's assigning to Rick. In this case, I want to create a sub-team that these messages are going to go to. So I have Rick, I can choose Chris, I can then go ahead, choose Jacob. So it's going to assign to one of these three people. The assignment works similar to our automatic assignment in a rule where the message is going to come in and it will assign to one of these three people based off of their availability, as I have here, with the fewest amount of messages currently. There is the option similar to our assigned to previous owner, if they will be available within, in my case, 1 hour of that mailbox opening, and I can ignore their max messages. If all 3 of these people are unavailable, and they won't be available when the mailbox reopens, then I can add a backup assignee, and I can say, if they're unavailable, assign to Emma. Meaning that if Rick, Chris, and Jacob are all on vacation at the same time or unavailable, we can then route those emails over to Emma. If no users are available to receive the emails or they're not going to be available within a certain amount of time, the messages will then end up in the inbox and be picked up by automatic assignment if enabled, or your users will have to manually grab those emails and move them into their folder. It's important when you create a rule that has multiple members of your team in it to always use assign only if message is not already assigned. This will ensure that when an email comes in and is assigned to one of these users, they can correspond back and forth with the customer without it assigning to another user within the rule, because it is separate from our automatic assignment feature up here. Let's see this rule in action. In our Outlook application here, we're navigated over to Rick's folder because we'd like to see a message that's triggered by this rule to be assigned to Rick. So once a customer sends a message in, it will first arrive into the inbox. We'll check to see if it matches any conditions, and then we'll assign it to the appropriate agent that it should have gone to within that rule. We can see that the message was assigned to Rick here. Good morning, we have placed an order on your website for 15 Surface Pro laptops. We have the content of the message here. It was assigned to Rick. If we check the email address here, we can see that it came from @pinelli.com, which was the first domain name we used in our conditions. And if we scroll down to the conversation details, as always, you can see how this message was assigned to a user by clicking View History. And this was assigned using the rule Assign West Clients to Rick's team. If you ever have any questions on assignment rules, you can always reach out to support@emaillogistics.com and we'd be more than happy to help you. Thank you very much for joining me on module number 2 of your Email Logistics Mailflow Rules course. I'll see you on the next one.